from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL Korea. It's the final day of the round of 32. I'm Tasteless, and I'm here with Artosis, my hetero nerd life partner. How you doing, man?
Tasteless. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm good. We've had an amazing round of 32 so far, and I think we got a lot of heavy hitters here today. They could definitely go all the way to the finals.
A lot of heavy hitters is a vast understatement there, Tasteless. We have 4 of the biggest badasses. This might be the group of death. It's hard to say.
Absolutely could be.
So many ridiculously hard groups, but this one, like Parting, Life, Leenock, and Last, that you don't really get much better than that.
2 household name Zergs.
This could easily be the top 4.
It could. It absolutely could.
Easily.
Last, he's one of our newer players, but that doesn't mean he's not a powerhouse here. I know we have a lot of viewers that only watch the GSL, but Last is scary.
Yeah.
Of course, Life, a GSL champion. Leenock, a champion of MLG.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And, of course, Parting needs very little introduction.
Oh, no. He's the world champion, reigning world champion, crowned by Blizzard and by WCG, the old thing that used to actually get to crown world champions.
Yes.
And, of course, don't forget Last, top 4 in the last OSL. Has done very well overall, has a little bit of a different style, very aggressive player, but very good. He knows how to split his Marines, a strong contender.
To be frank, I have no idea who's going to get out of this group.
Yeah, Life and who else? Life and who else? Thing is, Life could actually be eliminated here. It's a possibility.
It totally is.
He's so good, but I
already
need him to get by because I need to see him play against Innovation Flash.
Oh, I want to see that so bad.
I need it.
I want that so bad.
I need that like a flower needs the rain. Tasteless.
By the way, if you haven't seen the games with Innovation or the games with Flash, they are playing at this level that we've just not seen anybody play it yet in StarCraft 2. Maybe Life's up there.
Yeah,
but,
no, he could be up there. He could.
I guess
Rain is up there, too, to be honest.
Yeah.
But there's like a few players right now that seem to be a league ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
It's actually craziness.
By the way, you were streaming today.
I was streaming.
I was watching you stream.
Yeah.
I had my pom-poms out.
Oh, thank you for watching.
You took out some nerds, man. Some high-level nerds.
Did you then flame me in the Twitch chat because my minerals got too high?
I was like, he's not using his Chrono Boost enough.
Yeah.
No, I was actually the guy like scratching my head like, I don't think you use Chrono Boost here. That's not actually how it works. But no, it was really good. So check out Artosis' stream.
Yeah,
I've been streaming as well.
Yeah. What's your stream? It's Tasteless TV?
It's Tasteless TV.
Yeah.
Well, Twitch.com or
Twitch.tv/Tasteless TV and /Artosis as well. Give us some follows
subscribe
there.
to that.
We're streaming more and more and more. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I'm getting a new PC really soon, so I'll be able to stream.
Can't wait for that.
Multiplayer. I'm only doing single player right now because it's so laggy at points in time. I'm like, well, I don't want to.
Oh yeah, you don't want.
I don't want to actually have this impact my.
You see banelings coming, you're like, all right. You get your force field ready, and then suddenly, like, it lags. You're saying everything's dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know all about that.
So yeah, definitely check that out if you can. Again, we're here at the last day of the round of 32. And, this is such a stacked tournament. We've seen the KESPA players dominating more than the ESF players. Mm-hmm. That's not to say we won't have an ESF player in the finals or 2 in the finals. Yeah. But the KESPA players doing a little bit better. If you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about when I say KESPA or ESF were the players in Korea who immediately switched over to StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it's the teams that were basically formed to participate in the GSL.
Formed very quickly.
Yeah. A lot of them were KESPA players before, but
that's true as well. What we refer to as KESPA players now are the players after the retirement of StarCraft 1 as an esport internationally, globally. These are the guys that played StarCraft 1 until the end and then switched over. So we have some players. If you were watching us 2 years ago, you might have thought, who the hell is Flash? This guy came out of nowhere. Well, not exactly true. He was the best StarCraft 1 player ever, period. Yeah. Then he switched over to StarCraft 2. So now we have all the possible good StarCraft 2 players playing at once as far as people that were professional gamers, had professional gaming history or experience.
Yeah, this is basically all the RTS talent in the world is playing StarCraft 2. It's really the first time we've had something like that.
Yes.
You know? There's been there was always divides, when StarCraft 2 came out between StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2.
Right.
At one point there was Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 1 out, and that kind of divided it up. There used to be other RTS games when people finally figured out that those all sucked.
Yeah, they're not as good as
finally,
StarCraft.
Yeah.
And also what makes it even more interesting is this is the first GSL Korea with Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah.
The world is watching.
Not just that.
And what the
this
beauty
is WCS now as well.
Exactly. So the beauty of this is that now we have all the players that have switched over. The playing field's even out because it's a newer game. It requires newer strats, newer build orders.
Yeah. And, it's really giving us the best games that we've seen. absolutely stellar round of 32 so far, and today absolutely should deliver as well.
Absolutely. I'm so pumped. And we're seeing level of play that we never saw in Wings of Liberty.
No, it's
we saw it a
really
little bit with innovation at the end. He didn't win last GSL, but we thought he was.
The skill ceiling has actually jumped with Heart of the Swarm. There's a lot more to do. The game is a lot more flexible with what you can do, and there's a lot less just sitting there on a death ball type of play.
And Blizzard's opened up the regions now, so it's much more accessible. If you don't want to have a ton of copies of the game, you can actually pop onto the Korean server and play on there too, or pop on any server and play. So there's less microcosms of metagames.
That's right.
All right, now enough of this. Let's go ahead and go take a look at the player interviews and see what they're thinking about going into this match.
내가 한판 지고 해도 2대1로 역전할 수 있겠다 생각했어요. 전 델롬이니까 설레고 빨리 했으면 좋겠어요. 제가 우승할 것 같아요.
SK텔레콤 T1 파티.
솔직히 3명 중에는 제일 할만한 것 같아요. 그래서 일단 이사기는 무조건 이겨야 될 것 같아요. 정말 운이 좋게 시드를 받았는데 이런 기회는 자주 오지 않으니까 최선을 다해서 올라가겠습니다.
STX 소울 라스트.
승현이랑 자꾸 이렇게 만나게 되는데 승현아 형이니까 좀 양보 좀 해줬으면 좋겠다. 이삭이는 요즘 좀 기량이 떨어졌다는 얘기가 들려가지고 그래서 좀 안심하고 있고 김성현 선수는 이신영 선수보다는 편할 것 같아서 안심하고 있어요.
FXO 리노.
저도 저것은 진짜 자신 없어서 봐주면 좋겠어요. 저도. 테란 토스전은 그냥 할만한 것 같아서 별로 안 힘들 것 같은데 동영이 형만 이기면 무난하게 올라갈 것 같아요.
스타테일 라이프 2013 WCS Korea Season 1 MANGOSIX GSL Code F Round 32 Group G.
Wow, we got a lot of confidence coming out of that interview.
I loved Leenock saying, I heard that last isn't as good as innovation. It's like, oh, really, Leenock? Is that right? I heard that Tasteless is not as tall as a mountain.
That's true.
It's like, yeah, I guess that should be no problem. I should be able to jump over him.
Easy.
I mean, I can't jump over a mountain, but Tasteless isn't as tall as a mountain, so maybe I can jump over him.
Our first player we got a shot of here is Party. And I got to say, when you look at those interviews, people seem the least concerned and/or interested with Party.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, isn't it?
It was. I was expecting a lot more hype around Party. My God, let's say even if I didn't think he was that good, I would say something like, "Man, if I beat Party and if I had to beat Party the world champion, I guess that makes me the world champion." Something like ridiculous. To give me an edge there, but
yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes, man. Like Parting, he's still been playing well. I've been catching up on as many other pro league games as possible.
Monkey's facing at us now.
He's giving you a little
thumbs up. He's like, I'm here with Party. Thumbs up. Oh, but look at this monkey as well.
Well, that monkey.
Thumbs up. Well, he's off camera
he's
now.
Flaring his nostrils at us. That's a little bit aggressive. Don't look him in the eyes, Tasteless. Back away slowly.
Here we got Last. He's solid. Really scary guy. Again, I know that there are varying love degrees of what leagues people watch. Obviously, GSL the most popular, but there are people that don't follow some of the other leagues in Korea, so they might not be familiar with Last. They might be thinking, well, this is like,
just some Terran.
lamb to the wolves here or something. But no, it's not like that at all. He's very good.
He's very deadly. Really good at micro. Very all-in-y at times. An extremely aggressive player. He's probably going to open up aggressively instead of economically.
Probably.
Like he's pretty extreme in his play, so I'm excited actually to see what he has planned for Parting. Parting's gonna have to be careful against this guy. It's games against Last can be volatile.
Absolutely. Now our map is going to be Akalon Wastes. The loser picks the next map. It's a best of 3. Now the winner of this best of 3 goes to the winners section of the group. The losers goes to the losers section. So maximum. A player needs to win 3 best of 3s to get out, or minimum win 2 best of 3s to get out. So this is a system we have set up here. It's much more fair, and it makes it so that you don't just get screwed getting paired up with one guy in a bracket early on.
Yeah.
And then we break it down when we get about halfway through the tournament, because by then, if you're in that part of the tournament, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
everyone's pretty much
Well, generally speaking. But last invasion, Flash invasion.
All right, guys, it's packed. We're in our new studio here in Samsung Station, witnessing the best StarCraft 2 players duke it out here for one title, the champion of the GSL, Code S. Over here in the upper left, the only Protoss in this group, the world champion from last year, he is
SK Telecom T1 Putting.
And in the bottom right, we have our Terran player new to the GSL, Code S. He is
STX Soul Lust.
Is there fairy dust? What is that?
Fairy dust?
Do you see the little blinky lines?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. It was like little sparkles there on the screen.
All right.
And of course, immediately when I think of sparkles, I don't think of crystals or anything like that. I think fairy dust because that's the kind of
I think of
that's the kind of guy I am.
unicorns is what I think of.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When I think of sparkles, I think of vampires, but that's just a generational thing. So.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just too funny, Tasteless.
Thank you.
You're making me think of all things like that. So, it's Akalon Wace is our first map here. Really good map, one of my favorite new ones. And this is definitely one where you can take 3 and then a 4th base pretty darn easily. This is going to be, it's definitely a map that we see a lot of macro games on. And of course, some people cheese there because they're like, oh, it's kind of too easy for them to get their macro going. So definitely something you have to take into consideration.
Looks like we're going to have a Reaper opening here. That's pretty commonplace for Terran against Protoss. There's really not a lot Protoss can do to stop you from getting inside their base and a good idea of what's going on. Not that there's a ton that Protoss can really hide before the cybernetics core, but it's just better to know.
Yeah, that is for sure. And look at that.
I like this right off the bat. Okay, so just to explain what's going on here, it's so common now for Protosses to expand off one gate that what Terran players do is they make an eBay here. They almost let it finish.
Yeah.
And then they take the SCV off. So that way the Protoss can't make a Nexus where they ideally want to, which forces Protoss to either get a later Nexus up or try to do some kind of all-in, which Terran can then prepare for.
Yeah, one-base all-ins aren't that good from Protoss. There's some very strong ones, but by doing this, it definitely gives an advantage. This is not something, if you do this against someone one-base all-in, it's not like you're auto-lose or anything. But
I would say for Terran players, don't do this unless you are actually in an insanely high-ranked league.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, you're just
be wasteful
getting behind.
But it looks like he's going to take down the Zealot just barely, or just barely not, I guess.
Looks like the Zealot lives.
Yeah. It's okay, though. He dealt a lot of damage to him. He's definitely slowing down the Nexus of Harding. And, that was a good call by Last to just blindly do the eBay. Because he has a Reaper to actually scout the main, and when your Protoss opponent doesn't scout, it's oftentimes he's just doing, a quick Nexus build. But this game, looks like we might have a Blink all-in.
Well, like we said, he can force the player to actually end up doing it all in when he really didn't want to. So Terran can prepare for this. Now, let's talk about what Terran's doing. Terran has a bunker at the bottom of the ramp, so Last should be in pretty good shape. Also, it's a pretty good tell when you see the mothership on the other side of the map, close to your base, that something's going to happen.
Yeah, you can use it to scout, but
Time
going
warp
over
the
there.
SCVs.
Yeah, I've done it occasionally.
I've done it as well. I'm like, well, I guess that does make him slow down. That's one
Just barely
HP
doesn't
Reaper.
get that. But notice Parting is trying his absolute best to zone out this Reaper as much as possible, because the second that the Reaper realizes that there's no Nexus, then he realizes what this is, which is a Blink all-in.
I'm not sure if this all-in's going to work. Mothership core very low. Obviously, easy unit to get low early on. But then again, with the bunker on low ground, it is pretty easy to gun that down. We don't have a second bunker on the high ground. Actually, is that bunker full?
The Widow Mines are going to be the most important pieces of this. No, it's only got 1 Marine in it, but the Widow Mines are going to be super important because he didn't do this with Observer. And that's
actually,
that's
I got
really
a question because
yeah.
I've never tried this. I don't know if you've tried this. Okay, but when the Widow Mine is one of these units, and its animation from its missile has to connect.
Yes,
right?
you can blink
you
away.
Can blink like out of that, right?
Yes,
and it doesn't do
you can.
damage. Okay,
You absolutely
I've
can.
actually never been in that situation, but
People are getting much better at that as well. I haven't been in that situation yet either. But
not
now
good,
he's
not
gonna
good, not
know.
good, not good.
And now he needs to pull away. Like he started a third command center on low ground. Oh my God!
He knows.
There's nothing else to see here. He knows basically every single thing. All he needs to do is turtle like crazy, and these Widow Mines are going to be very important.
Now, he can blink in through the left side of the Terran's main. Don't know if he's going to do that, but we'll see. You know, with blink here, it Protoss micros perfectly. It's so hard to do the okay, oh, this is not good. Oh my God.
Man. Really well
that
done by Parting.
was sexy.
Indeed it was. The
Sexy
SUV's
man.
coming down now. He's going to lose these... he does get them out. Very smooth move there. Popping them out right before it dies. Of course, there is a Widow Mine.
Oh my God, he's so good.
He's so good.
This is so ridiculous, but the mothership core goes down, and now Protoss can't get up inside the base. So
yeah, it's going to be a lot harder now. And in fact, does blink some up. And he actually blinked onto a Widow Mine, a well-placed Widow Mine there from last. And Parting's taking some damage, but
he might
is
blink
dealing
the
a lot
rest
as
of
well.
them inside the main now and just go to the mineral line.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely the right choice.
Oh, gets that middle line too.
Very well done. Now he knows that there are at least a couple Widow Mines out here. And let's see, can he continue to dodge them all?
Actually, he could do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, this might be it, man. I think he may have, okay, he's done enough.
He's killed
It's
the Widow
over.
Mines.
Just
Wow, really
nothing
nice
left
handling
over.
there by Party. He blinks on the Marauders. That's exactly how you want to do it.
GG.
GG.
Well done. Good execution. You know, he blinked away up from those first few mines, and those really needed to connect. Now, just for clarification, if Last wants to stop that, I believe its innovation has really shown us probably the best way to stop it. What you really want is quick siege tanks. And if you can get a medevac out, that's going to be amazing because the Stalkers don't actually have high damage output.
That's very true.
So a single medevac or even two can heal very well. But yeah, bunkers, siege tanks, more important than Widow Mines because as we saw, Parting can out-micro those because that's really his superpower. Like Wolverine regenerates.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not the claws.
No, a lot of people think it's the claws.
No,
that's
not.
actually
That's
he's
not a
given an adamantium skeleton.
His mutant power is in fact regeneration. And the mutant power of Parting is actually micro. Even though he's great at everything, he has claws like Wolverine, but,
That's a great metaphor.
Yeah.
All right, the map that Last picked is going to be GSL Star Station. Star Station is a great map, one of our newer maps here. Now remember, let's say that Last wins this. That means Party gets to pick the next map. So we will see. But Party. If Party picks the map, that means he's got a plan on there, and he's very comfortable against Terran.
Yeah, certainly. He'll probably just pick a very comfortable map, to be honest. But this is a great choice by Last. This is a map where it's hard to hold that third. Something like the all we just saw is actually kind of preferable on this map for Protoss because that third can be very difficult to hold.
Very true.
So yeah, what I'm basically trying to say is if you're playing a best of 3 and you want to cheese one game, this might be the map instead of Akalon, but he may have done that in response to the offensive eBay and how much that slowed him down too. It's hard to say.
That's very true.
With his build.
All right, well, the game is now loading. These two guys, a world champion and a rapidly, a guy shooting through the ranks here, I should say, in GSL, one of the best Kespeterans out there. And we're going to see who's going to go into the winners in just a little bit. I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. We're Tastos, the Casting Archon, bringing you the best esports show of all time, the GSL Kodes.